Rebellions are built on hope.
Welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. Thank you guys for being here. My guests just saw themselves on the intro because they're part of the intro. I think that threw them off a little bit, but thank you, Maggie. Thank you also for being here. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. I was like, oh my God.
Like my glasses.
Yeah. So that's from last time you guys were here. We're talking High Republic again, talking about the Rising Storm. And yeah, you made it into the intro. So there you are. You're always part of the show here. So yeah, how are you guys doing? It's been, I don't know, about a month or so since we last spoke. How are you guys doing? What's been going on? Maggie, I know you've been busy covering a lot of movies out there. How's it all going?
Everything's going good. Yeah. Can't believe it's already been a month since the last time we were here talking High Republic.
Yeah. It's been a lot in the last month. It feels like it just happened and like 6 months ago, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm already ready for more High Republic. I'm like, is it time? I want the new content.
Yeah, that's one of those things.
January.
I know a lot of people get that kind of, High Republic, there's a lot of it. I'm kind of burned out. Give me a little break. No, just give me more. I just finished Tempest Runner. I know we have a few other comics out there. Unfortunately, I'm not keeping up, but just the main novels. No, keep going. I can't wait till December or January when this comes out.
The comics are the break.
Yeah, I know.
They're like little.
You need to read them. They're so good.
They're so good. I made a handy reading list. I can.
I saw it, and I clicked on it knowing that I was gonna be ashamed when I did. Because I've kept up. I know my High Republic stuff. Let me click on it. Although I know I'm gonna be behind, I saw that list. I'm like, it's just 3/4 of this.
Some of it goes ahead. Like some of it is not out yet.
Yeah, still, it's a lot of stuff that eventually. But I am reading the Monster of Temple Peak comic with Ty
so
Yomi.
Good.
That is a very good one. So. All right, so before we start talking about Tempest Runner, that's what we're here for. Among other things, there was a little bit of Star Wars news, so let's cover that real quick in our Star Wars news section. Star Wars news. And that was, we got the reveal. We just mentioned we want more High Republic, and we got the reveal on the High Republic show. I think this came out Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, was the reveal of the Wave 3 covers for The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray, Mission to Disaster by Justina Ireland, and Midnight Horizon by Jose Daniel Older, apart from more comics and some other stuff coming for Wave 3. So I was going to ask which one of those was your favorite, but I know it was this one, right? So I have this thought.
Look at him.
Romance novel cover model. Like
you've got the flowing cape, the blowing hair, the rain,
sword. He's on a cliff.
He's got the heroic pose. It's everything.
So who did you have to call to bring you back to life after you saw that cover? Do you have one of those life alert? I've fallen. I can't get up.
I actually did have a couple of people text me like, "Are you okay?" Like we're just checking on you.
Yeah, I mean you're known in this Twitter space, I guess, as Martian Rose fan base. And every time we see something, I know we can do the Martian. I don't want to be the first one to say it, but the Martian host out there.
Yes,
Martian host.
It's when something new is okay. I'm going to say Markion. We'll get into that debate, Markion versus Martian Row. But all right, maybe it won't. I'll change. I'll go back to Martian.
Yeah. Even the High Republic doesn't know. So. Yeah,
it's right because Charles Souls came out and said, "Oh, it's Markion," and then listening to this one, the voice cast. No, I don't care what you say. We'll go with Martian. But when we see something new, Martian Row, I wonder what Maggie and Arezou are kind of thinking about. So yeah, I did thought about you guys, but it is a great cover. Even if we not make fun of it because it's an awesome cover, but a little bit of things behind it, but. Apart from
I'm so curious to know what happens to warrant such a
Exactly.
Very specific style of cover.
It was the Martian Hodem on Twitter.
So I just added the
It's a
fire
gift.
down because it is
I
a
love the fire.
It's so appropriate.
It is perfect. I had to put something for them. Well, he has the lightsaber. Loden's, again, spoilers for everything High Republic. We believe that's Loden's lightsaber, correct? I'm thinking,
Yeah.
yes?
Unless it's a huge plot twist and he gets his own.
Yeah.
As far as we know, that's Loden's.
So what I don't know the exact time frame of this, I thought it might be kind of his backstory, but I know they jump around in timeline like they did in Tempest Runner, so who knows? But if anything else to say about this cover, what you are hoping for in this comic series when it comes out?
I'm scared because because the last time Charles Soule did a miniseries comic book about a bad guy in a mask was The Rise of Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, The Rise of Kylo Ren, which is going to offset redeemed Ben Solo when he comes home. And it's going to be like, wow, look at the contrast. And then he died. So I'm a little worried that Martian is going to die.
That Lourna Dee is going to be like, bye-bye.
Yeah, like Lourna Dee is gonna kill him or something. And then that'll be the end of Martian Rose. I'm a little worried that that's what this comic is ushering in. But I'd like to be wrong.
So I don't know. I don't know if this is a kind of a preamble of what might happen to Marchion, but I do think, jumping a little bit to Lourna Dee, that she's poising herself to be the new leader of the Nihil, or I don't know. We'll talk about it as we go into the Tempest Runner discussion. But then we have the other three covers that were revealed. Midnight Horizon is the one that stands out to me, but also, of course, Fallen Star with that, what I guess is Starlight Beacon in the background kind of breaking apart. So great covers out there. Was something great to see in the High Republic show, which is always an awesome 30 minutes of content there. So yeah, anything else about those three reveals or anything else that was kind of talked about in the High Republic show you guys wanna mention before we move on to our main topic today?
I can't wait.
I need it now.
It's been a year, because by the time this comes out and phase one kind of ends, it's a whole full year, and a lot of things have happened in that year. Oh man, yeah, can't wait. So before we jump into our main topic, let's see who's here. We already, man, thank you with your hands up. Our friend Blue McMama is here saying hi to everyone, and of course she says that Marchion Row is their favorite.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I like that we're so well known for this.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Again, if High Republic comes out, I gotta check with Arezou's and Maggie's schedule to see if they can make it in, because we gotta talk about it. All right, so let's jump in and talk some Star Wars, talk Tempest Runner, a spoiler review, and we need to give her a little theme music here for. So yeah, Lourna Dee, she came into this book coming out of the Rising Storm. I mean, out of the shadows. She had a lot to do in that book, kind of on the sides, but by the end of it, she positioned herself to kind of challenge Marchion Row. I think by the end of this one, she's kind of at the same level as him. But before we get into the meat of it, what are your quick thoughts or quick reactions on Tempest Runner?
I loved it.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I think my only thing was that I wish we had like a transcript for it, because some of it was kind of hard to follow, like who was talking at different times. But outside of that, I loved it.
I also kind of wish we'd had the first taste of like a High Republic soundtrack, because as much as I love the John Williams music, like we hear so much about the rec punk that the Nile listen to, and then there's the fact that it is 200 some odd years earlier. Like, what does that music sound like? So that would have been, but like that's such a small complaint. So
yeah, because there's a couple times I was like, oh, this is so and so's theme. This is kind of like throwing me off the moment, because it was such a recognizable like strand of music from John Williams.
Yeah, there were one time, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes into it, or once Lourna Dee is captured and she's in Starlight Beacon getting interrogated. And they ask her something, and then the Jedi theme kind of plays in the background a little bit. And I'm like, oh, does she has any relationship to the Jedi? And of course, a little bit later, she meets Master Rancisis, which I love how she says his name. But that was kind of weird. So yeah, I do understand that the themes kind of go a little bit, kind of throw you off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sorry. So like I said, my daughter is out in a play date. My wife just gave me a note that she's having a good time and wants to stay a little bit longer. So that's fine.
Nice.
Yeah. Kids, preteens. So you mentioned a little bit the format of the audio drama. This is my first time listening to an audio drama, only my second audiobook. But do you guys like this format for this story? It's very similar to Dooku Jedi Lost, also from Cavan Scott, that goes back and forth between the main characters. But did you like this format? I know you mentioned that you prefer the script, and I do understand there were a few times when they're in the prison, the restitution, and also when she's taken by the Sigerian slavers, that kind of threw me off. I didn't know which time frame they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I do understand wanting a script. But in general, do you think this is a good format for future stories? And was it worth it for this one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think the format is very helpful for when you want to get inside somebody's head or cover really specific incidents in depth, because it's hard to do this much dialogue in prose form. And like you could try and just make less of a dialogue, but I think if you really want to get there and just really show interactions in the book medium, then this is the best way to do it.
So I listened to it when it came out just so I could have my review out. And then I listened to it again this week only. Okay, I'm just going to listen to it on my way to work and back. I don't need to worry about taking notes or anything. And it did work a lot better that time. Of course, I knew the story already. But both times, and again, big props to the voice cast and to the sound department and everything, because it's basically closing your eyes and just listening to a movie, because once you get into it, the characters, it's very vivid. And I love every minute of it, just listening to it. I love, like I mentioned, the voice cast. I fell in love again with Lourna Dee. I don't know her. I love also her Twilight accent that people that watch
accent.
Rebels has that. Oh, but why does Hera change her accent? That's what happens when people go back to where they came from or talk. I know if I talk to another Spanish-speaking person, I change. But I love listening to her accent, the way she kind of expresses herself, and the whole voice cast was great. So yeah, I did enjoy that. I did enjoy the voice cast and the whole book in itself, in this audio format, audio drama, whatever. So I wish we can get a few more, because you do get to understand more of the characters instead of just reading a book or listening to someone read the book. Do you guys think, because we are focused on, I say villains or antagonists, that the main character of this book is the antagonist and we're following them? Is it good for general audience to focus on a book that's mainly through the villain's perspective?
Oh yeah, I wish they did that more. I feel like that's a really crucial element of storytelling, is the villain. And usually they have the most motives, because it's really easy to be good. You don't really need to be like motivated to be a good person, but you need to like understand the psyche of why somebody has become a villain. And we see really clearly why Lourna Dee, who doesn't believe herself to be a villain, she's acting in her best intentions, and we see exactly why, like time and time again, she is underestimated and mistreated, and that fuels her. And it's really fun to see kind of that evolution and how she went from being like a really bright-eyed, really happy, really like ready to take on the world like young woman, and then she becomes this like, I'm not trusting anyone but myself. I'm out for myself because nobody else is going to care about me.
100% agree. I think that where stories fall short, not this one, but generally speaking, when you're trying to tell a villain's narrative, like the villain in the larger sense, where it falls short is if you can see the author being like, this is why I think they're wrong in their own story. Whereas like the really good ones, like Dooku Jedi Lost, like this one, is like, this is why they think they're right.
Yeah.
And that's...
Cavan is really good at getting into the mind of a villain. And I think that's because he likes torturing all of us so much.
He is a little bit the villain.
Cav knows what he did.
He knows and he enjoys it. But I do agree 100% that he knows what he's doing because Dooku was never my favorite character. And as such, Ventress, I liked her. But again, yeah, she's a cool character. Her double lightsabers are extremely awesome. But listening to that story, which, it's going to be a story about Dooku, but you learn so much about Ventress that both of them became one of my favorite characters. I spent $200 on a Dooku lightsaber because I just love that story so much. And Lourna Dee, even though I did enjoy her in the first couple of books, now she's my favorite Nihil character out there. Marchion, I like you, but right now Lourna Dee kind of moved up. And it's because of the story that was told. And like you said, I know we're just following her and not someone kind of writing this. Like you said, this is why they're wrong or this is why they're doing whatever. But she goes like, she's not really, she doesn't see herself as the villain because she's basically trying to protect herself her whole life. Unfortunately, a lot of things have gone wrong for her. She's just trying to survive, trying to, like she said, I'm doing what other people want me to do just to be able to survive. And that kind of leads to everything at the end. So yeah, before we keep going, let's say, so Blue Milk Mama on our chat, right? I think they mostly did a good job with the flashbacks and telling when was the current day. I listened to it twice too, but a script at the same time will be a huge, huge plus, which apart from today, I've heard a few people saying that as soon as this came out. And also Amy Guerra, thank you for being here. She asked, despite my auditory processing issues, this was the first audio drama. I felt like I was totally following the whole way through. Excellent production, absolutely. So
I'm with you, Amy. I have auditory processing issues as well. So that was a struggle at first. It took me like 3 days to end up listening to it overall because I had to take it in such small bites because it was a lot to take in.
I think if they just did like a very basic script, like digital whatever to follow along with, and then 6 months later they can still publish the nice hardback, and we're Star Wars fans, so we will buy it. Like, you know what I mean? But just have that easy.
Yeah, just something for if someone wants to download it, just to have it with them. Nothing official. Yeah, very basic. Doesn't have to.
They could even just do like in this scene, these are the characters. Here's all the characters in this scene and the voice actors. Scene 2, it takes place on here. Here are all the voice actors and the characters. Like something really rudimentary just to help people visualize, because that's the issue. Because a couple of the voice actors had similar-ish voices, and if you weren't like carefully paying attention to who was speaking at which time, you'd be like, wait a second, that doesn't seem right. Why would that character say that? And they'd be like, oh wait, it's not them.
And it's such a minor problem, but like trying to write a review and not knowing how to spell anybody's name.
Yeah.
Yes. Because there were characters that weren't on the character sheet that we were first given.
Yeah, after I wrote my review, I went like 3 times to change names because I saw other people, oh no, wait, I wrote this wrong, I gotta fix it. But since I didn't listen to Dooku Jedi Lost when it came out, I bought the paperback. I was expecting something similar with this kind of exterior, telling you where the scene was taking place, because that's what Dooku Jedi Lost does on the actual book. Kind of tells you the exterior, tells you the setting. So I was expecting something similar when I started listening to this one. So that took me a little bit to kind of know the settings of all the stories. And when the book starts, and again, spoilers, when we have Pan Ada just coughing his lungs out, it took me a couple of minutes to kind of understand what he was saying. So when Pan comes in, did you guys knew right up front that was him, or did it take you by surprise when he was revealed?
It took me by surprise because I haven't listened to the other audiobooks, so I didn't know what Pan sounded like until this.
Yeah, I was completely surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I knew it. I don't know. I guess because I saw the character list and Pan Ada's was listed on the character list.
Real.
And I think that's what I kind of, that's got to be him. Plus all the coughing. And anyway, it was a great addition. I've seen from other people, I've heard from other people that I didn't know it was him. It was a great review when he kind of showed up. So were you surprised when he came in, or did you thought that he was dead from the end of The Rising Storm?
I didn't think he was dead. I figured that was too easy. That kind of character's got to come back.
We're not killing Pan Ada off screen. Yeah. I just sort of assumed that when he comes in, because I saw the cast list, that it would be whenever Askar was there, like in a flashback.
Okay.
That's what I thought too.
That's probably what it'll be. But.
And he was, but he also
he wasn't wrong.
So
I really love the voice for Pan Ada. That was like very surprising to me. I was like, this is a great voice. Like this is what I pictured when I pictured Pan Ada.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a character like him, a duotin, I guess is how you say, those big guys, you need that kind of rough voice
Yeah.
added with his mask when he had it on, all the coughing when they were in that present time, not going back to those flashbacks. And then for myself that haven't followed the comics, we got a lot of upfront with Skier and with his Padawan or former Padawan now, Knight. And he's still battling, I guess, the dark side, the way he kind of threw Lourna Dee against a wall or something, almost broke her arm or her leg. Is that something we're still seeing in the comics? He's still dealing with that Drengir possession, kind of dark side tendencies?
Oh yeah.
He's dealing with that, and now Kiev, his Padawan, is undercover with the Nihil. So
Yeah,
they
I
might
saw
meet
that
again.
on the covers.
Yes.
And another, and I, again, kind of finishing up with the voice casting, I love listening to Skier's voice. I love the Trandoshan voice, all rolling the S's, and when he gets scared, I'm trying to help you or whatever. But yeah, seeing all those Jedi's at the beginning was pretty cool. But we also get, when Lorna Dee is captured, a bunch of Republic forces, which kind of go, let me go back a little. The Nihil come and they're trying to take over this communication relay or relay station. But then they were able to call the Jedi and the Republic Defense Forces. They came in, big battle, but a lot of people died. And then one of those fighters from the Republic that lost one of his comrades is basically said, the Jedi don't do anything. They can't finish the job. I'm here to kill all the. They don't know that it's Lourna Dee because for some reason the Jedi and the Republic, for so how smart they are, they didn't check the body. There's a mask. She's dead. Yeah, we got some Twi'lek, but it's probably not Lourna Dee. I'm sure there's some DNA in the galaxy far, far away that they could check. But anyway, they don't know it's Lourna Dee, but this guy, Jano, says the Jedi can finish the job. I'm gonna go and kill those Nihil that killed my partner. But now we've been seeing from other Jedi saying that the Republic and some of the Jedi responses is not the best because they're not really going after the problem. We've seen it from regular citizens in Out of the Shadows and now from a Republic fighter pilot saying that the Jedi are not really dealing with the problem. Do you think this is going to continue to grow? People kind of losing respect for the Jedi and the Republic in general, not dealing with this situation? Or when you saw this, anything similar came to mind?
I feel like that generally with the High Republic, that the Jedi are kind of being asked to be all things to all people, and that's not what they want to be, and that's not what they're trained to be. So I think people have put this expectation on them because we have, Avar Kriss, the hero of Hetzel, and we have Stellan Gies, the hero of Valo, and like they have like they're putting them on this pedestal, but like they can't possibly manage everybody's expectations like that. So I think we're going to see that sort of start to decline until they turn more into like the monks that just kind of keep themselves to themselves that we see 200 years later. So that's I think this is like the beginning of that turning point.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
So what do you guys thought about the interrogations? Because she's changing her name. She gives this name, I forget the name that she gives to the Republic in Starlight Beacon, but it reminded me a little bit of Phasma when she's being interrogated by, not Phasma, when I believe I forgot the spy's name.
Archex. Vi is being interrogated by Cardinal, by Archex.
By Cardinal. And it gave me that kind of vibe, similar also to Alphabet Squadron, when she's being not interrogated, but having these kind of sessions with the torture droid turned psychiatrist. So it gave me that kind of vibe. I do love those scenes. But so going back to her past, being this kind of child of prosperity, I guess, because her family is the kind of overseeing this outpost or this planet. Ayaloth with his dad as the chief. Did you like that background? Kind of start setting up Lourna Dee's first as kind of outgoing because she's out with the blurg in this field that she shouldn't be, but then also has that combative nature with her father because she doesn't believe that he's doing enough for the people. There's riots outside. Did you like this kind of setup for her?
Oh, I loved it. I was so into it.
Because, like, especially because Justina sets up this idea in Out of the Shadows that Lorna comes from money because, like, Nan notes that, sometimes we talk about accent slipping, like hers slips into like a more educated, more moneyed accent, and then she kind of pulls it back to whatever her pirate voice is. So like I kind of thought something like this was coming, but the payoff of it, I was comparing it with Maggie to like this Romanov vibe where the revolutionaries come in and execute the ruling family.
That was like exactly what it was.
Like
Cavan, was that your inspiration?
Like so like I did not expect it to take an Anastasia twist, but I loved it.
Mama, it's me. Lourna Dee.
The crossover of the century.
Yeah. So we learned there that this planet, that kind of not a planet, it's a planet kind of part of Rylov. Everyone else is kind of dealing in spice, but her dad is kind of no, we're playing things by the rule book. We're following all the rules. And then I guess Lorna's boyfriend at the time, which is kind of weird to hear you're listening to this with your headphones, and then there's all this making out with Bal. I'm like, okay, kind of weird, but we'll get through it. And then, like you said, yeah, I survived it. It was kind of just a ruse to get her to lock her family into this kind of secure room. And then, unfortunately, no one's getting out, not even your little brother. And I was surprised by it a little bit. I thought that at least some of them were going to be able to make it out. But we learned that this planet, Aeoloth, is filled with these spice, the steams, all these spiders that weave it, and then they start selling it. Then, unfortunately, from there, she gets sold to some Sigirian slavers, which are on Huts, because she's going to be turned over to the Huts. And for 300 years, the Sigirians and the Huts have been keeping people as slaves, as no one has done anything about it.
No.
But here we start seeing how Lorna kind of changes just to survive. Yeah, let's take a little bit.
I'm thinking about the fact that, we've got a starlight beacon, but slavery,
yeah,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that
That's
eventually.
But you can't
Not
put
really.
propaganda on ending slavery. That's not a great work. Not
No,
like the
'cause then
fair or the beacon.
The rich people won't want to help then.
No, and that's still far away, and we'll get there eventually.
Somebody else's problem.
Yeah,
Let's
we gotta
build the Starlight Beacon and another one first,
Yeah.
I guess.
We gotta celebrate with the fair. Come in, let's have fun. Forget about all the slaves out there that we've known from thousands of years.
The Republic, man. Oh my God. Lorna is not a villain in any sense.
Yeah.
I think about that occasionally. Like, there's so many issues in the galaxy, and like you think of Phantom Menace, and it's still like an issue, and the Jedi are still like, somebody else will take care of it. It's okay, Anakin. We saved you. It's all good. Your mom will be fine.
They left her. I mean, I want to believe Qui-Gon would have gone back, but nobody else did. There were other people there. Anyway.
Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't even go back.
He didn't know. Obi-Wan Kenobi has never done a thing wrong in his life.
So the thing, before we all jump, I'll defend Kenobi. I'll be with you, Arezou. But I love that people from the past year have been defending Qui-Gon as this beacon of the greatest Jedi in the prequel trilogy. And like, he left slaves. He didn't take his mom because Watto said no. Really? Oh, the Huts wouldn't allow it.
You have a lightsaber.
Yeah,
you have a lightsaber, and this guy purchases people. Like, there's not a court in the galaxy that would convict you. Like,
and they can't prove it anyways. No body, no crime. Just make him disappear.
Just take him back on the ship and throw him out. Like, you don't know.
It's so sad that his whole hut blew up.
All right, so let's go back. So Tempest Runner. So she gets taken by Sigirian slavers. She gives this fake name. Or first, I love that when she's talking to Chancellor Wittig. We'll get to him in a minute. And she's telling, oh, this is my friend. She sacrificed herself for me. I don't know if that's to Wittig or to in Starlight Beacon. And then when we go to the flashback, she says, no, I'm not taking a bullet for just cover me, because that person was also dying. And then the Jedi come in. Master Rancisis shows up. And she's safe. And then another great point that goes all throughout the books, especially when she says that she's never given a choice, because she's saved by the Jedi. She says, I don't have a family. Don't take me to Aeoloth. All right, so you're going to this Republic military facility. That's it. Thank you. See you later. It wasn't her choice. And then it kind of starts building to everything that happens at the end. should the Jedi share some blame in Lourna Dee's kind of creation or joining of the Nihil because they didn't give her that choice to do something else apart from we saved you, now you're going to the military academy, and we're happy because we saved you, and you should be happy and grateful. Do you think they kind of share some blame for everything that kind of led to her transformation and joining the Nihil?
Yeah, because they didn't give her a chance to do anything else. Like maybe she wanted to go, I don't know, go learn to be a mechanic. Like they don't give her the choice of like just kind of going off and doing her own thing. So I think the Jedi and the Republic both bear some responsibility for the Nihil in general, and I think this is just like a microcosm of that.
I agree.
So we start just focusing, I guess, then when she gets to the prison, she's seeing, not the prison, sorry, what do you call the restitution? This reformatory, or it's not a prison ship. They give some other name just to make it sound a little bit.
It's a prison ship. They just
It's a rehabilitation center.
Yeah, rehabilitation vessel, I think they say. But then she starts this relationship with Counselor Whittick, and then everyone's kind of, yeah, that's more than just a little. Was there something else there, or was it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was the hint of something else there, but Counselor Whittick is a gentleman and doesn't do that with prisoners.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think they labeled it.
I maintain the belief that he is still alive.
Yes, that too. He is still alive.
Okay, so
I refuse.
let's jump real quick to. I usually leave the fan questions till the end, but our friend Rachel, that was here last week, she said, "Did she kill Counselor Whittick at the end?"
I refuse to believe it.
No,
I refuse.
I don't think she did.
So you don't. Okay, Star Wars. We didn't see a body. Was no confirmation. He's
No
still.
body.
When we see the body, it's not over.
The
Darth
body
Maul.
can materialize out of nowhere, and I still don't believe they're dead.
Like, truly.
Is that a reference to something that happened in a movie not too long ago?
No, I have no
Remember,
idea.
like this weird like fan movie somebody made. It wasn't very good.
Okay, but here's the thing. Talking about this fan movie, I think that Lorna huxed him and just shot him somewhere, like the arm or the leg, to make it look like he tried to stop them and didn't manage to, while leaving him alive. That's what the blaster bolt was.
She left him to be found later.
Yeah. And then they can find each other later.
Oh, more ships.
It's always the ships. It always comes back to the ships.
Cavan Scott gave us so much in The Rising Storm.
Mhm.
I believe that he is capable of giving us more.
So
These
did
Jedi
you
romance
guys
novels, man.
romance novels? So that relationship that they kind of form just throughout their conversation, he's trying to help her, believes that there's something more to her, that this is what she's been hearing her whole life. She heard it from the Starlight Beacon kind of security director calling her, "Oh, you're my leap of faith." Then Cestine saying another Cestine, this person, another Twilight that she meets there. Always, every prison movie, there's someone at the end of their sentence trying to get out, but something happens to them, trying to, "Oh, you're like a hopeless case," and then Weary kind of saying, "Oh, you're my last chance to do something good," or something like that. And it's basically like she keeps saying, "You guys are not doing this for me, it's just for yourself to make you feel good." But what do you guys thought about that relationship with Weary? Do you think that he was getting to her? Because at one point she breaks down and she's like, "I'm Lourna Dee, I need your help." What do you guys thought about that relationship? And did you think at some point that this was going to be a redemption story for her of sorts and kind of turn back to the light?
I think it was a genuine connection between them. I don't think either of them were doing it for altruistic reasons. I think it was one of those, like, we're both in a weird situation and we have like a good like connection, so let's like rely on each other for like emotional support. And I think it could have like become something more had it not been, he's in charge of the prisoners and she's a prisoner. Not a great dynamic.
No.
But yeah, I think he was being genuine in his belief that she could be better. And I think she was being genuine with like whatever like bond that they formed.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, it might have started with them using each other, so to speak, but I don't think that's where they are by the end.
So did she take it too far to the extreme when she kind of learns that he's dying? Seems like he's dying. Needs all this medicine to keep him alive, or not alive, but at least kind of functioning. Do you think she kind of took it too far on the opposite way, that he was trying to use her, and that's when she kind of loses it and kills him? Or
I think her reaction made sense, and it also, her reaction was what furthered my belief that there was a genuine like connection there, because you don't react that drastically when you find out that somebody that you've been using, is dying. But I also think it was just yet another man using her for, I can't remember the guy's name that she was with on Aloth. His name was completely Vala, and then Marcian's dad, and then this was just like another person using her, and I think she was just at her wit's end. She'd gone through so much up until that point. She'd been pretty injured up until that point as well, and I think she just snapped.
Even Marcian uses her, like in this one, where using her to like set up this whole thing on the relay tower, and then when she's like, "You need to get me out of here," and he's like, "Ride the storm, Tempest Runner, like bye, have fun." So even he, like every single person has never given her any reason to believe that anybody would help her or be there for her, and Counselor Whittick does. So
yeah, and I think like having heard the flashback with the being called Asgard's greatest work, I was really mad at that point. I was like, screw all of these guys that keep using her. Because at that point, I'm like, yeah, girl, do what you got to do. Like, take them all out. I mean, I was at the point where I was like, yeah, Martian, he's kind of being not nice right now either. So, I would understand. I'll be sad, but I'd understand.
So this is why I had to wear, like I say, my brain shirt today, because I have to be on point when I'm talking to you guys. And you just said something I didn't click, and maybe it's because I'm a guy or I don't pay attention. When you said that all these guys that keep kind of treating her that way, and to me, it's just, a bunch of persons just treat her badly or try to take advantage of her. Oh, wait, it's Asgard, it's Vala, it's Pan, it's Whittick. Oh, it's all these guys. Oh, crap. Okay, I now kind of see it from another sense.
Her crew is entirely female
women
by the end.
I don't know what I'm reading, okay?
Literally, trust no man is the worst.
And genuinely, I was so surprised that Cavan wrote that. I was like, Cavan gets it. And that even her ship is called the Lourna Dee at the end. Like, truly. She was just like, nah, I'm good.
So let's go into it, because most of it, or a lot of the reviews start with, it's what's in a name, and a lot of us have been asking, why does she have to call her ship the Lourna Dee? Then we see here why she's always doing what someone else kind of wants her to do, expects her to do. She's going through all these names, and when she goes back to Vala in Aeolot, and he finds out that she's this brawler in Mandalorian now, armor that's kind of kicking everybody's ass, and then she joins the Nihil. And she reveals who she is, and kind of this, I wrote it down because a name that was forgotten, that was denied. And then she reclaims her name and says, not just for me, my ship and everything. That's a very powerful moment for you guys reading that. Was it also gave, I'm guessing, that same emotion when she kind of, this is me.
I love the payoff of it. Like, because when you first hear that, like, she named her ship the Lourna Dee, like in Light of the Jedi, you're like, okay, that's a little extra. But then, by the end of this, when you realize that at every turn she has had to give up her name, her identity, like who she is, then it does feel like the reclamation that it is. And then it makes sense, like coming together, like even more so now that she would want to claim the name again and be like, this is me. This is like proudly on the side of my ship. So,
and if you think about like how the Nihil are, in which it's like a victory for one is a victory for all. There's so much of like a group setting instead of a singular individual. And so I think there's also an element of her being like, I'm actually the one that's been doing some of these victories that we've had. And like, I deserve the credit for it. Like she's like, I've been doing the entire group project, so I'm putting my name on
She's
this
putting her
project.
name on it.
She's
not
like,
just-
I've done this enough.
It's not just like the group victories, like Maggie said, it's anonymity too. Like
Mhm.
they are all hidden behind very similar looking masks and so anonymous in the way they work that like everybody thinks Lorna's the Eye of the Nile. They don't even know who Martian
She's
is.
like, now I am.
She's like, by the way, there has been a little bit of a staffing change. I am the Eye now. But
Yeah, which is, again, it's great because even the person that she thinks that she's connected to incesting that she meets in this prison ship, when she says, oh, this isn't you, and she's like, not you, please, not you. And then she kind of takes a restitution for herself, renames it also the Lourna Dee, and now she has this big ass ship, I guess. But then Pan-Ada comes back when all the prisoners are taken to this planet. They don't know where they are. They don't tell them. She falls. Again, she's prone to falling and having things fall on her. First the blurg, now a bunch of heavy equipment or steel beams. Then Pan-Ada comes and does what all great villains do, and they just keep talking. She's there, just kill her. She says something. Oh, what did you mean? Especially at the end, also, just tell me what you're. Dude, just kill her. So when you just wait, I know she's not gonna die, but you're like, dude, why are you talking so much? You're here for one reason.
I was like, dude, you have limited oxygen as it is,
Yeah.
and you won't shut up. Like, I know this is an audio drama, but this could have been an
Use it
email.
all.
Like, this could have been an email.
I love also Pan's ruthlessness and how brutal he is, because in that same scene, he grabs Tasha, which is being this foil to Lorna throughout the journey. And she's like, just kill her, let's get out of here. He's like, shut up. You're a means one, and I'm not taking you with you. I'm going to choke you half to death. And it showed this guy, like you say, he's barely has any oxygen. He's dying. He just chokes the hell out of her. And it's very, even just listening to it, you're like, just let it go. It sounds wrong. But again, he falls down. Nobody in Star Wars. He comes back at the end. I don't know where he got all those ships. And he starts attacking the Restitution. And then the end comes, that big battle. Did you enjoy this? Because it's been kind of not slow. It's a different type of book. It's not a lot of action. Except at the end, it kind of changes. It gives you like half an hour, I guess, of just this big action piece inside the prison. You feel any kind of tension during that scene? She's locked up. Everything else is happening around her. And then she knows that Pan is coming to kill her and there's no escape.
So much grunting and groaning.
yeah.
I was like, take a shot for every time somebody grunts in this. Be like blind drunk.
I think that's the one downside of like audio dramas is when it's Star Wars, so by necessity you have these big fight scenes,
Mhm.
but then those are visual things and it's very hard to convey that. But I will say I like that they kept most of the action just for that end bit
Yeah.
and didn't try to
Mhm.
sprinkle it in throughout, which they might have been inclined to do given that it's the now. So I appreciated that. And it wasn't that hard to follow, I didn't think.
Mhm.
So
All right, so let's go to her time joining the Nile, and we meet Markion's father, Asgard Rowe. Markion is kind of Pan says the run of the litter because he has this, oh, my dad, yeah, yeah. He's kind of maybe what not a lot of people expect. I haven't heard Markion in other books, so I don't know if this is
it's the same.
it's the
I
same.
heard
Okay.
it. It's the same.
It's so. I have feelings about it.
Yeah.
I'll be nice.
It doesn't match
It doesn't match. That's a nice way to put it.
it doesn't match this guy, right? This guy,
No.
it's my dad.
No.
Yeah, the storm doesn't. I don't know. He'll grow into his voice. We don't know. Maybe he's
But
got a
he's
few
an
years.
adult now. I assume. I hope.
That's a man.
Yeah,
A
like
taxpayer.
we see, the concept art with the arms and the and like
That would be like if Henry Cavill opened his mouth. He was like, "Hi guys, how are you?
like it's Henry Cavill with a Mickey Mouse voice. Like
Oh, you guys!"
it's the same dissonance. Not that this sounds like Mickey Mouse, it doesn't, but
No.
like, it's the same sort of.
Hi guys, we're gonna ride the storm.
So Amy's saying, I haven't listened to any High Republic audiobooks, and that voice completely threw me off. I had to back up and make sure it was the real Markion. Blue Milk
Yeah.
enjoys our imitation. But yeah, it was kind of weird because when we hear him at first, there's this kind of first he's behind his mask, and there's all this disruption in the communication, so it's kind of garbled. You really can't hear it too well. But then when he's there in the, I forget the name, they called it, their base in Wild Space or wherever.
The Great Hall.
The Great Hall. And we meet his dad. We meet Asgard, who does have that voice that you kind of expect coming from Markion. And we see Kassav is back that we haven't seen because he sucks. Kassav sucks, sorry, I'm going to say it. I mean, he's a good character.
You're right.
I mean, he's really
right.
well. He sucks. That's why he died on the first one. But he's back here trying to make plans that don't work. But in Light of the Jedi, Markion kind of believes it was Kassav that killed his father. Then in Rising Storms, he thinks that it was Pan. That's why they have all those issues. But here we find out that actually it was Lourna Dee that killed Asgard. Surprised by that reveal, and then all that. No,
yeah, I was.
I wasn't. I was like, yeah, he totally did it.
I wasn't like surprised and like I can't believe she would do this. I was just surprised that we got such a like clearly defined resolution. That like, yeah, it was Lorna. Like that was it.
Yeah.
So
I love that at that point she's not taking any crap. It's like, okay, you try to take me for a fool, and then this happened. You're gonna betray me just as you're betraying these guys. I don't trust you. I'm just gonna take care of this myself. I don't need these two long heads to kind of go with this plan that they're trying. But I did like those scenes with all the now in unison in that base and hearing everything that's going on. And then unfortunately for Pan and Kassav, when Asgard dies or is murdered, then because their plan is, we can take care of soft voice Markion. But that's not the case. He grabs his helmet. This is my dad's. It's not mine. I'm the eye, and everything kind of blows up in their face. So that was cool
a great
to
moment.
Yeah.
Like
I have to say,
the Martian was kind of in this because it's all Lorna's perspective, but that was a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the reason I wasn't surprised that Lorna ended up being the one to kill Asgard was when he called her his greatest work. I was like, please kill him. Please be the one to kill him.
I mean,
I like literally all of my loyalties to Martian just like flew out of my body, and I was like, Lorna, this is yours. Do it. Like this dude needs to die. Also, just the irony of him calling her his greatest work, and then we have Chancellor So out here talking about her great works, and I was like, oh, I am connecting the dots. Like that meme of I have connected the dots.
So we're gonna jump into another question from our friends at 60 Minutes that they asked, how did you feel about Lorna's return to the Nihil? So this kind of goes back a little bit, thinking if there was going to be a redemption story for her, but when everything happens in the prison, she goes back to the Nihil. Were you surprised by this, or did you expect that she was going to stay that way till the end?
I mean, what does she need to be redeemed for?
She's just doing the right thing,
especially in her own eyes. She's just surviving.
So when I was going through this, and when she says, "Oh, I'm Lourna Dee, I need your help," I kind of thought, okay, she might kind of go to the light side, trying to redeem herself. But the more we go with the story, it's still a redemption story for herself, right? Because she kind of regains herself again. So yeah, it's not a traditional redemption story. It's not kind of, I did bad things, I'll do whatever. She does kind of redeem herself in, this is who I am. I'm done with everyone else telling me what to do. I'm Lourna Dee, taking the ship, calling it again the Lourna Dee. And she's kind of not grown into herself because she's been that way for a long time, but kind of now it's the end of the line. No one else can tell me what to do. So it kind of was a rebirth for her, I guess, in that kind of sense.
In a rebirth sense, I'm like, I think this was great. And it didn't surprise me that she went back, because I saw some critique on Twitter of like that she ends up where she started and blah, blah. And first of all, her story's not over. Mm-hmm. We still have, it's not, the end of her character arc after 3 movies or whatever. But she's back with the Nihil, yes, but she has this new perspective. She has a new crew. Mm-hmm. She has a new motivation, which is probably going to be to like take Martian down and take the title of the Eye for herself. Mm-hmm. So she's back with the Nihil, but with this better sense of self, this rebirth, this reclamation of her identity. And it's going to be different. It's not going to be the Lorna we've seen up to this point. So I wasn't surprised. It makes sense for her to like sort of make right all of the wrongs that have been done to her.
So I agree. Like I said, I thought there might be some change there. I didn't expect it at the beginning of the book, but when that happened with Witty, I can say, okay, I see now why she might kind of turn back. But by the end, it's like, yeah, no, this is who she deserves to be. This is who she is. Do you think that story kind of going to that critique? Because I've heard a little bit, not that she started or ended where she started, but maybe the book didn't do enough to push the High Republic main story forward. Is that a fair critique, or doesn't matter because this is a different book just focusing on her kind of path?
I mean, it's essentially no different than the comics. They're telling specific stories that have a beginning, middle, and end, and they eventually tie into the much larger tapestry of the High Republic.
I think it's a fair assessment to say it didn't push, the big story forward, but it's such a rich universe that I think the comics, the audio drama, the middle grade novels are doing a great job of like making this world feel real, making the characters feel very lived in. Because like the adult novel and the YA novel are where the big arc shifts happen.
Sure.
Everything else is just making it so that when we do get to the next shift, it's not them having to catch us up on everything that's happened, and now we can move forward. It's happening. So like whenever, I guess in the Fallen Star, when the Nihil have their big status quo change, it's been set up here, and it's all like filled in. Did I say that right? The Fallen Star? Yeah.
Okay. Fallen Star. Yeah.
For a second, I thought I said the Rising Star. I'm like, that's not what this is at all. But so I think that's the purpose of a story like this.
Okay. So 2 more questions or 2 more things before we start saying goodbye. So the Jedi, they had Lourna Dee, didn't notice. Then she's in the prison ship. She escapes. Then when Sestin is captured, she said, "Oh, my friend Sal, no, she's dead." So they still don't know that Lourna Dee is alive or who she is. I'm guessing eventually they're going to find out that, oh, crap, we just let her go. Do you think the Jedi will find out, and how do you think their reaction is going to be? Or they're going to just blame someone and, oh, it wasn't us, it was the Republic?
I think they're going to find out when a ship called the Lourna Dee
looks real similar to the
chaos. That's probably what's
going to happen. And they're like, wait, is that the restitution?
Like, I think at that point, somebody's going to connect those dots.
It's got some paint over it. 3 thunderbolts. They don't know. They won't know. All right. So, what is it? I forgot. All right. So, Lourna Dee, Marchion Ro, I think we might have mentioned this, or I think I mentioned when I talked about Out of the Shadows, is that she's positioned herself to now challenge Marchion Ro for that title of Eye of Denial back then. But now at the end of this book, like everyone else, Marchion thinks that she's dead. So he's talking to, I forgot the name of the new Tempest. He's talking to him, kind of, no, Pan's dead, Lorna's dead, and then she shows up. I'm not dead, and I'm coming to you guys, and things are going to be different. And she has now a Tempest that's extremely loyal to her. Because before Cloud strikes, they just want to move up. They don't care. I think this Tempest, with all those prisoners, are extremely loyal to her now. So you kind of alluded a little bit earlier that maybe by the end of wave 3, she's now kind of the leader of Denial, or some close to it. Do you think we're getting to that point that she's ready to challenge Marchion for the lead, or do something else with the now, kind of change what that institution is?
I think it's going to happen in the Fallen Star.
Yeah, I feel like it would have to happen in that one.
I don't think it's going to make it to the next phase.
Okay.
Yeah,
is it something, because I always, not always, after the Rising Storm, I was basically, maybe Marchion kind of, he wants to deal with the Republic and the Nihil, but his beef is with the Jedi. He's doing everything. He's trying to get all the pieces together to challenge the Jedi. He's just going to leave the Nihil. Yeah, you want to take care of it, you do it. So I thought it was going to be that. But by the end of this book, I think Lorna's just going to kick him out. Because she's now, this is my ship, and you're done.
She's like, I've taken over. Move on.
Yeah.
My thing.
Yeah. So I can't wait for what's coming up next in the High Republic, and especially Lourna Dee. Like I said, at the beginning of this book, yeah, she's a cool character. I like her. and now she just jumped out to the top of my
So cool.
antagonists, not villains, because yeah, she does bad things, but most of them is in self-defense, I think.
They are.
Nobody in this galaxy is innocent.
No, even Avar Chris.
The hero. How can you say that? All right, yeah, she is.
If you read the comics, Alberto.
Keep just jabbing. I'll get to them eventually. I probably won't, but I'll try.
Well,
All
the
right,
trade
so-
paperbacks are starting to come out.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna wait for those and just get the whole thing. Just these waiting months for it, and then like on your list is look at all the other ones that are coming, like issue 18. I'm like,
Okay, but issue 18 is not till like middle of next year or whatever.
yeah, I won't have the first one. I'll try. I'll start with
Read them
finish
by
most of
arc.
the.
Read them by arc. You're just filling in the details at this point, right?
All right, so I think that does it for today. Unless anything else you guys wanna talk about Tempest Runner wise or what we're expecting, I guess, because right now we're with the comics and Monster of Temple Peak, which is still part of Wave 2. We're closing in, inching in on Wave 3. We got the reveals of the covers. We knew that the titles a few months ago. What's your big expectation for this last wave that's coming? A little one, just one thing.
It's gonna hurt. Everybody's gonna spend January crying over somebody.
You're still in the belief that Fallen Star refers to Starlight Beacon, not a specific Jedi?
No, I won't entertain the idea that anything happened to Stellan Giaz. I won't. I can't spend another wintertime crying over a fake Star Wars man. It's not something I'm interested in.
I don't even humor that one. I think it's a Starlight Beacon.
Okay.
I'm not entertaining that. It's on the cover. The Starlight
It is.
Beacon is falling to pieces. That is the fallen star.
Do we think that by the
Maybe
end
it'll
of
be Avar.
Because she's the star.
she's the hero of itself. She's got all those glowing blonde hair and her little. Anyway.
Yes, the star with her blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
Her tiara.
Yeah,
her
there we
tiara.
go. Leave Stellan Giaz alone.
Yeah, ultimate pain, like
Yeah,
they're saying.
100%.
So do you think that Wave 3 is just gonna end bad for the Jedi and the Republic? Or because
hope
I mean
so.
every issue where Light of the Jedi, Rising Storm, which are the main ones, I see you laughing there. There's something extremely so the Republic and the Jedi kind of win the war but lose a battle, right? First they lost Loden. Start at Light of the Jedi, he gets kind of taken, and then by the end of Rising Storm,
You really
bye-bye,
lose Logan.
thank you for your service, and you've been cremated and your remains have been scattered here against your wishes. Do you expect something similar for the Fallen Star, that yeah, they might win the battle but lose this big great work of Lorna Dee?
Gonna
So
Fingers crossed.
It's gonna be bigger. Whatever the pain is, it's gonna be bigger because this is what's taking us into the next like full phase,
yeah,
which I think is called like what Quest of the Jedi. So they're gonna like try to make it
Mhm.
better, and then Trials of the Jedi Phase 3, where they're gonna try to salvage this and they can't. So it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. There's no way this ends on a high note.
Yeah, the High
Yeah.
Republic has definitely allowed me to be like, ugh, the Jedi, which brings me great joy. I love watching them suffer.
which it's funny, not really, but that's that. But at the same time, they're giving us some of the best Jedi that we've ever seen.
Some of the best
Like,
characters.
The
Like, they-
characters are amazing. The order is
I don't
questionable.
love them,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna love what they do.
Mhm. And that's why so many of them. That's why I love Orla and Cormac, and even Vernestra. Sorry,
I
it's not
love
Vernestra. They kind of questioning the Order and the Jedi itself. The Force is one thing, the Order is another. And we're starting to see that more and more in the Jedi. And then by the end of this, we'll see what happens. But yes, it's going to be pain. But it's going to be entertaining pain, I guess. So thank you again for being here. I'll be seeing you again soon. Also, you're going to be here in a few weeks, I guess, to talk about more villains, which I know
Yes.
you're going to love. And then competing in our first trivia challenge. It's going to be awesome in about a month or so. So thank you for being here. And anything else you want to kind of push as we kind of say goodbye today?
Over on the Outer Rim Beacon, we have a really cool interview that we are doing on Monday that will hopefully be out like around Wednesday. And then I'm doing a really cool interview for Your Money Geek that will hopefully be out around Wednesday as well. So some cool Star Wars stuff headed your way.
On arezou.com, we've got new book reviews now, so you don't have to wait for the deep dives. There's new stuff as well, so that's fun. And then on Space Waffles on Monday, you can hear Maggie and I talking some more about this, including a very wild Martian row theory.
Ooh, we gotta turn in for that one because
yes,
it's you two and it's Martian. We love those theories.
This theory came out of nowhere, and it was beautiful, and it makes so much sense, and you should listen to Space Waffles on Monday to find out what it is.
We'll be there. All right. So thank you, guys. Thank you to the chat. It was awesome as always. And for myself and my guests, stay safe, be safe, and may the Force be with you. If I find it.
Rebellions are built